6 Network Topologies Explained and Compared. Network topology is the description of the arrangement of nodes, e.g. networking switches and routers, and connections in a network, often represented as a graph. Network topologies outline how devices are connected together and how data is transmitted from one node to another. A logical network topology is a conceptual representation of how devices operate at particular layers of abstraction. A physical topology details how devices are physically connected. A network topology map is a map that allows an administrator to see the physical network layout of connected devices. There are many different types of topologies that enterprise networks have built on today and in the past. Some of the network topologies we're going to look at include:
Number 1.
Bus topology. Simple layout and cheap but vulnerable to failure and only suitable for low traffic volumes. Not used for office networks today, but can still be found within some consumer products. Smaller networks with this type of topology use a coaxial or RJ45 cable to link devices together. Pros and cons. Easy installation. Fewer cables required than mesh and star topology. Good for small businesses. Low cost. Easy to manage and expand. Backbone performance is critical. Easily congested on busy periods. Efficiency decreases rapidly with each added node. Data can only travel in one direction at any point in time. Advantages and disadvantages. Keeps the layout simple, can be run with a single cable, have a single point of failure. High network traffic would decrease network performance. Half-duplex data transmission can possible in only one direction.
Number 2.
Ring topology. Easy to manage and with a low risk of collision but reliant on all nodes being powered up and in full working order. Rarely used today. In networks with ring topology, computers are connected to each other in a circular format. Within this topology, one node is chosen to configure the network and monitor other devices. Ring topologies are half-duplex but can also be made full duplex. To make ring topologies full duplex, you would need to have two connections between network nodes to form a dual ring topology. Every device in the network will have two neighbors, and no more or no less. If ring topologies are configured to be bidirectional, then they are referred to as dual ring topologies. Dual ring topologies provide each node with two connections, one in each direction. Thus, data can flow in a clockwise or counterclockwise direction. Pros and cons. Low incidence of collision, low cost, suitable for small businesses. Dual ring option provides continuity through redundancy. One faulty node will bring the entire network down. Requires extensive preventative maintenance and monitoring. Performance declines rapidly with each additional node. Reorganizing the network requires a full system shutdown. Advantages and disadvantages. Risk of packet collisions is very low. Data can move through network nodes at high speeds. More resistant to failures. Low cost to install. Failure of one node can take the entire network out of operation. Could still be knocked offline by a transmission line failure, raising scalability concerns. The more devices that are added to a network, the more communication delay. Need to shut down the entire network to make changes or add new nodes.
Number 3.
Star topology. All devices are connected to a central switch, which makes it easy to add new nodes without rebooting all currently connected devices. The relationship between these elements is that the central network hub is a server and other devices are treated as clients. This topology makes efficient use of cable and is easy to administer. On the other hand, the health of the switch is vital. This topology requires monitoring and maintenance. However, it is a commonly encountered topology. With star topologies, computers are connected with a coaxial cable, twisted pair, or optical fiber cable. Pros and cons. Easy to manage from one point, the switch. Easy to add and remove nodes. Durable, low cable usage, good for small businesses, requires specialist network hardware. The switch makes the network reliant on the switch's performance. A finite number of switch ports limits the network's size. Advantages and disadvantages. Can manage the entire network from one location. Can add new computers without having to take the network offline. Simple to set up and manage. If the central switch goes down, then the entire network will go down. Tied to the central node's configurations and performance.
Number 4.
Tree topology. A hierarchical layout that links together groups of nodes. Creates parent-child dependencies between root nodes and regular nodes. The hierarchy is parent-child, where there is only one mutual connection between two connected nodes. This layout can be vulnerable to failure if a root node has a problem. This topology is complicated and difficult to manage, and it uses a lot of cable. This form of topology is used within wide area networks. 1. Pros and cons. Blends bus and star topologies. Easy to manage, easy to expand, suitable for middle-sized businesses. The network is dependent on the health of the root node. Requires networking expertise, involves a lot of cable. Larger implementations require monitoring software. Can get expensive. Advantages and disadvantages. Used to extend bus and star topologies. Lends itself well to finding errors and troubleshooting. If the root node fails, then all of its subtrees become partitioned. The more nodes you add, the more difficult it becomes to manage.
Number 5.
Mesh topology. A mesh topology is a point-to-point connection, where nodes are interconnected. In this form of topology, data is transmitted via two methods, routing and flooding. Each node is connected to every other node with a direct link. This topology creates a very reliable network, but requires a large amount of cable and is difficult to administer. Wi-Fi networks make this topology more feasible. There are two forms of mesh topology, partial mesh topology and full mesh topology. With partial mesh topology, most nodes are interconnected, but there are a few which are only connected to 2 or 3 other nodes. A full mesh topology is where every node is interconnected. Pros and cons. High speeds data transfers, durable network that isn't dependent on any one node. Very secure, suitable for high-value networks for small to middle-sized networks. Easy to identify faulty equipment. Requires a very large amount of cable. Can be difficult to secrete all the cable. Takes a long time to set up. Requires meticulous planning. There is a limit to the number of cables each computer can accommodate. Advantages and disadvantages. Interconnectivity of nodes makes them extremely resistant to failures. Require an immense amount of configuration.
Number 6.
Hybrid topology. Combines 2 or more of the standard topologies. Hybrid topologies are most commonly encountered in larger enterprises, where individual departments have network topologies that differ from another topology in the organization. This can be a good solution to quickly link together different existing networks into a unified system. Don't confuse the term hybrid network topology with hybrid system, a term that is applied to the combination of on-site and cloud resources. Pros and cons. Very flexible, suitable for middle-sized and large organizations. Infinitely extendable, adaptable to optimize equipment use. Requires professional management, needs monitoring software, equipment costs are high. Advantages and disadvantages. Flexibility, can incorporate multiple topologies into one hybrid setup. Can be quite complex, can end up being quite costly. Before choosing a topology, you'll want to closely consider the following: length of the cable you need, the type of cable you're going to use, the cost of installing the topology, scalability, use a network that is easy to add devices to. Remember that all topologies have their advantages and disadvantages depending on the environment they're applied within, even those that have become obsolete. Once you've given some thought to what topology you want to use, you can make the move to deploy it. Now that we know the different types of topology, it is time to consider how to design your network from scratch. There are several software products that allow you to create your own network topology diagrams. One good way to plan ahead is to use a network topology mapping tool to draw up the network layout that you're going to use. I recommend the following. Microsoft Visio, SolarWinds Network Topology Mapper, Fathom or VNT.
Did you like the video? Tell us in the comments section down below. See you soon in the next video on top facts around the world. Subscribe our channel and stay tuned with Bloom Tech Info Media.